things have run up a lot. Nilesh Shah, Managing Director and CEO of Envision Capital, is now joining us. We have to discuss a lot of issues. Nilesh, good afternoon. I know we wanted to discuss IT primarily, but considering the market's move today, let me just take a bit of a departure here. Your thoughts on this big move that we have seen in financials today, and the policy. You think it marks some kind of paradigm shift?
Maybe in the very short term, Anuj. Clearly, of course, if you look at basically the end of September, clearly the financials seem to have essentially kind of been beaten down at that point of time. And we'd seen some of the frontline names getting shaved off by maybe 8 to 10% intra-month in September on a lot of concerns around growth and the waiver on interest on the moratorium period and things of that kind. Versus that, of course, the government stand and now, of course, the RBI's policy, which is extremely accommodative, I think, of course, has clearly lifted sentiment. And of course, we've seen a fantastic rally from the kind of lows that we've seen in September. So my sense is that it looks like that we seem to be done for now in terms of essentially the pure banking names. They have been pretty much kind of at a high in terms of post-COVID levels. And now are pretty coming in close distance of trying to kind of get to those all-time highs, especially the frontline banks like HDFC Bank. So I think on the whole, I would probably think that one needs to be now a little careful, given the kind of rally that we've seen over the last maybe 8 to 10 sessions. And if one wants to kind of look at a re-entry, look at when there's some bit of softness creeping in. And these things do creep in when you expect them the least. So today, probably everybody still continues to believe that banking will continue to march on. But who knows, we might kind of get into a pretty short-term kind of a resistance and some kind of headwinds as we move into the next week or maybe even beyond that.
Okay, so some caution perhaps warranted. That's what Nilesh's take is. Good afternoon, Nilesh. Always great to have you on the shows. Now, you mentioned banks. The other leader of the week, of the month, and maybe even beyond, of course, has been IT. Now, you tell us, is this a fundamental re-rating that we're witnessing here? And if it is, then how much higher can PE multiples go?
There has been a re-rating, and there's no doubt about it. I think by and large, the sector is now trading at valuations which are, at premium to what their historical averages have been, at least over the last 3 to 5 years. And that's essentially clearly driven by the fact that because of COVID, the whole shift towards cloud and the whole shift towards or adopting digitization, I think has got significantly preponed. Clearly, I think enterprises world over, which probably thought that they have several months or quarters or maybe a few years to go before they can kind of go 100% onto the cloud, have clearly basically got to kind of now prepone that. And clearly the COVID and the lockdowns have been a huge trigger or a huge catalyst, which has basically driven some bit of earnings as well as, of course, a significant amount of the re-rating. The other aspect we have to keep in mind, Surbhi, is that over the last 2-3 quarters, they've also enjoyed strong tailwinds of the currency. Clearly, when the rupee dollar was below 70 and when the rupee dollar on an average has been about 75, of course, it's about 73 now. So that's a clear 7 to 8% addition to your bottom line, which is coming in substantially. May not be entirely, but substantially. So these are the two big things, two big tailwinds, which the sector has enjoyed and which has driven up valuations to a significant premium to what the historical averages have been.
Yeah, but Nilesh, that is the point, right? For something like TCS, we are almost now approaching 30 times. You think that will become the new normal versus, say, 22, 23?
Very unlikely, Anuj. I think because clearly keep in mind that TCS is essentially a very, very large company. And what we have to objectively view, of course, globally, there's a huge transformation and this is a multi-year opportunity in terms of cloud. But nevertheless, having said that, Anuj, our IT companies are going to still kind of grow in single digits. And I'm talking of the larger IT services companies. These are not, of course, IP companies. These are not product companies. These are services companies, which are only enablers They're not essentially the creators, but they're essentially the enablers. So to that extent, my sense is that for them to sustain at these kind of valuations, they probably will have to kind of step into a double-digit growth, which I think is going to be very unlikely unless they have the tailwind of the currency. So if you're in the camp that we are going to see maybe 78 to 80 rupees on the dollar, I think the valuations will sustain. But if you're in that camp where the best is over for the dollar and you're going to now continue to see strength in the rupee, and it could even probably be more like the 71, 72 levels, then my sense is that we probably hit the ceiling in terms of valuation. So my sense is that now there's going to be now very limited room in terms of an upside from a P re-rating perspective. I think at like what you said, TCS is trading in the 30s and probably more like 33, 34 times on trailing earnings basis, which is pretty much at the historical levels. I don't think now there's incrementally a case for something like a TCS to kind of, for its valuations, to even breach this historical ceiling and probably trade at high valuation. So my sense is the valuation story is pretty much done for now. It's now back to sustainability of earnings growth.
Okay, so quick last point on IT then, Nilesh. I want to talk about the others, not the large guys that are the enablers for mega global corporations, but the mid-cap companies that perhaps do have something niche going for them, either a niche service or a product itself. I'm not asking for a buy call, but generally, what are the kind of themes, what sort of companies and businesses do you like at the moment in that space?
Well, so I think if we kind of just look at the tier one and the large cap space, maybe companies like HCL Tech and Wipro, which we essentially which we too own, there the valuations are still attractive. They're still quoting at a deep discount, not a deep discount, but they're quoting at a meaningful discount to larger players like TCS and Infosys. So maybe it's time to kind of look at them, and they have strong capabilities on cloud and IoT side. So maybe that's a very, very interesting space and a set of stocks, which I think there's still some steam left, and maybe it makes sense to shift some allocation there. In addition to that, I think there are a lot of mid-cap companies which have very, very strong niche positioning, companies which are into product engineering services, companies like L&T Technology Services, Tata Elxsi. I think these are kind of some of the names which investors should probably look at in their portfolios from a slightly more medium-term perspective.
Okay, by the way, important update on Vedanta now, 134.6 crore shares have been tendered and 72 crore shares at up to 155, 21 at 160 per share and 32 crore at 320. This 32 crore will have to be, my guess is of course LIC, they made it clear that that's what they'll tender at. The importance of this is that if there are no withdrawals, I mean, if this stays here, in that case there will be a discovered price, and all indications were very clear that Anil Agarwal will be in no mood to accept that discovered price, but will have an option to make a counter offer. And you've seen the stock from yesterday's low of 110 now move up to 127 rupees per share. So that's the move which is happening on Vedanta. Okay, Nilesh, so you said HCL Tech. In the mid-cap IT, it's been such a massive run, right? Whether you look at a Coforge or an L&T Infotech or a Mindtree, and these stocks have practically doubled in a quarter. We've already seen Hexaware's delisting, for example. Any names which stand out here?
Most of the names that you've mentioned, I think now have kind of pretty much outpriced themselves. The kind of valuations that they are trading at. It's quite possible, of course, there have been buzz and rumors of some kind of restructuring and reorganizing, especially amongst, say, Mindtree and L&T Infotech. That's essentially been a buzz. Honestly, don't know how credible that is. In addition to that, of course, some of the other names like Hexaware, etc. There's been more or less corporate action. So my sense is that it's not just basically the earnings growth and the momentum. It's also got to do with basically potential corporate actions, which essentially the street has been talking of. So that's essentially been driving their stock prices. But I think maybe it's time to kind of exercise caution on some of these names now, given where the prices have moved up.
Okay, that caution is taken. The point is taken, absolutely. Now, Nilesh, since you are with us, allow us one or two additional questions beyond IT as well. And I have to ask you about the catch-up that's happening in financials. And again, here, I'm not talking about the HDFC banks of the world, but the run that we're seeing in a lot of the mid-cap housing finance companies, other NBFCs. Do you think this will continue, or is this something that one should still be wary of, considering we're not through with the restructuring and the real numbers?
So I think housing finance, I think, is a kind of probably has got its own course to kind of chart out, because what basically one is seeing, and I think some of the real estate companies have also come out and said, is that there seems to be some kind of demand which is kind of coming back for residential homes in some of the cities of the country. And essentially, of course, some of the state governments have done their bit to basically kind of cut stamp duties and make it easier to kind of own homes and buy homes. There's also been some price correction also. So clearly, there has been some resurgence in terms of demand for homes, and I think that's likely to drive demand for housing loans. In addition to that, of course, there were some tweaks today in RBI's MPC policy in terms of the standard provisioning and things of that kind, which I think is going to basically do a lot good for the HFCs. So I think the HFCs, clearly probably for them, they might see some better times in over the next few quarters. So they seem to be on a much more stronger kind of a wicket. And I probably think that the HFCs have some potential to outperform the conventional banking names or the conventional lenders.
Okay, then final question before we let you go. Is IT still the leader of this market, Nilesh, IT and pharma? Or you think the banks can reclaim the leadership? Every bull market has a new leadership, right?
My sense, Anuj, is that I think if the markets have to climb higher, it will continue to be some bit of musical chairs between financials at some point of time, IT and pharma. But having said that, if I were to kind of take a more medium-term perspective of the entire pack, my sense is that India's pharma sector probably is the most well-positioned to kind of emerge as a very, very strong kind of leader amongst this entire pack and amongst the sectors that we talked about. So if you were to kind of really tell me to kind of pick one sector, I probably think that the bull market in pharma looks far more sustainable relative to the others. The others will probably kind of keep playing the catch-up game and participate in the journey. But my sense is that pharma clearly has a very strong chance to be an outlier in this uptrend.
We'll let you go on that note. We'll leave you to enjoy your weekend, but you've given us another teaser, right? So next time, hopefully we can pin you down on pharma, because that's where you're saying the bull market is going to continue for a long, long time. Great conversation, and already looking forward to that one as well. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
We are going to take a quick break on that note. We'll come back on the other side, and as promised, a curtain raiser for second quarter earnings. Gautam Dungat of Motilal Oswal Financial Services joins in.